Today we're being joined by the newest North Melbourne VFLW star recruit, Yasie Welsford. Yasie, thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Cooper. Thank you for having me.
No worries. Now, normally I start by asking people to tell us a bit about yourself, but now we had our goal kicking challenge on the weekend. Obviously an interesting challenge. How do you feel you went overall?
Look, I wasn't too impressed, to be honest. Yeah, not great, but we'll get there. That's what you have to do when you're a backman, hey?
That's exactly right. Now, obviously, you mentioned playing off halfback, but what I will say is your work in the trick shot round on the opposite foot was really impressive.
Yeah, look, I hope it is. I practice those after training as the forwards every now and then, so I've got my practice in, but look, I think I just choked, to be honest, in the actual goal kicking. But yeah.
Yeah, full disclosure, you kicked a pretty impressive check side on the right foot from the right pocket off camera.
Off camera, I did. I kicked 2 of them, but you weren't recording, so just have to put up with it, I guess.
Right, so obviously, tell us a bit about yourself. Well, I know, but for everyone that doesn't know, tell us a bit about yourself, what got you into footy and what type of player you are.
Yeah, so I grew up in country New South Wales, so my journey to footy has been a little bit different than most, I would say. I started like just Oz kick when I was like little, and then I was a netballer, so I played netball majority of my childhood till about year 7 or 8, and then got back into footy again and loved it. Wanted to not only wanted to play footy, and I also played cricket, so I played footy and cricket. And then I moved from New South Wales to Melbourne 2 years ago to really have a decent crack at footy, and here I am.
So now, obviously, was it tough to make the move from Sydney? Obviously, you played at the Calder Cannons as well, which we'll get to. But how hard was it making that move from Sydney to pretty much further your football journey?
Yeah, so I lived like country New South Wales, so I wasn't quite Sydney. I was only just a hour over the border from Melbourne, Victoria, sorry, over the Victorian border. So I played majority of my junior footy in Canberra, so travelled the 2.5 hours there and back, so 5 hour round trip to play just a game of footy. And then obviously the travel got too much, the time commitments got too much. I had way too many days off school. My teachers weren't too impressed with me. And then, yeah, look, as a family, we decided it was the best if we moved. And yeah, so I moved to Melbourne with my dad and my little sister. And then I joined Colt Cannons, which was unbelievable. And yeah, so it was difficult. Look, I'm a country girl at heart and I always will be. But I think the city's given me lots of opportunities that I definitely wouldn't have had if I didn't pack up and move. So pretty grateful for that.
That's good. Obviously, you mentioned too about playing cricket. Now, I have to bring it up being a cricketer myself. How were you as a cricketer? Were you an all-rounder? Were you a batter, a bowler, a wicketkeeper, a fielder, a scorer, a bench warmer? What would you class yourself?
Yeah. So I was wicketkeeper bat. So I batted 4 or 5. It was predominantly a wicketkeeper. Look, I was pretty handy at cricket. My pop and dad were both aren't too impressed that I'm not playing cricket at the moment. I was in obviously all the New South Wales pathways, and then transferred over to the Vic pathways, like Vic under 18 development squads and Vic under 18s team and stuff. And played Premier First for a couple 2 seasons. And then yeah, look, I just needed a break, to be honest. My year 12 studies got in the way, and I just needed a bit of a break. But look, I reckon I'll go back. I miss it.
That's good. So, was it a hard choice to, at that point, push cricket to the side a little bit and just mainly focus on year 12, but also on footy as well?
Yeah, look, I played when I was growing up. I played all sports. Like I played 2, 3, 4 sports at a time. And it got really to the stage where I had to pick one. Like, it was too much. Like, footy academy was in cricket season and vice versa, and I was never home. I was always training. Never had time to actually do school properly. And it got to Yeah, the start of cricket season, and I was talking to my dad, and I said, "Look, I think I just need the summer off. I need to relax. I need to just chill out a little bit, have some time to like relax, yeah, recoup, relax, do what I want to do, go away for a little bit."
Yeah.
Before footy season got pretty hectic because they're playing a 14 round straight season this year, so there won't be much time off. So,
Yeah.
um, look, and I really just wanted to focus on year 12, to be honest. Like, cricket
Mm.
training takes up a lot of my time, and I'm a person, if I wanted to do something, I wanted to do it properly. So I would be at the nets like every day or every second day training, and it was just too much. So I think it happened quite naturally. I always thought it was going to be some big, extravagant um, decision I had to make, but it just happened, yeah, pretty naturally, which I'm pretty lucky about, to be honest.
That's good. Now, there's two catchphrases I've incorporated throughout my cricket time, in particular the last 3 or so years since I've had the channel, and it's two mottos always dealing: only dealing boundaries and only dealing wickets. Since I've do a bit of every year, to be honest, it changed. The last few years have been more of a bowler, and back then, before that, it was a batter. Now, obviously, being a wicketkeeper batter, would you say you only deal in boundaries as well? Are you more of a defensive batter, or are you an attacker, or a bit of
No,
both?
I'm an attacker. I was a bit of a, I wouldn't say a hack, but look, I was always run a ball kind of player. I didn't
Yeah.
love to, if the ball's that hit, I always hit it. I wasn't very defensive, that's for sure. Um, but yeah, love to hit a long bomb and love to have a big swing. So yeah, definitely more of a hit the boundaries.
Love it. That's a great way to go about it. And look, you're playing Premier Cricket, which is at local level is one of the highest honours you can get. So that's still a pretty good achievement on your part to balance all those sports and still be playing Premier at that point. Now, obviously, Calder Cannons in the football side of things. How's the time been while you were at the Calder Cannons compared to how you are going now?
Look, I was incredibly lucky to join the Cannons.
Mm.
I'm moving down, obviously moving down from the country. I remember my first day so clearly. I was so nervous, so anxious, and yeah, getting out of the car at Highgate, I was pretty lucky. I was greeted with Ross Smith, so North Melbourne legend. So I'm pretty lucky. And yeah, I think fitted in pretty comfortably. I loved it. Got gained a wealth of knowledge, but also like developed as a person as well, which has helped a lot and put me where I am today. And then look, it was pretty comfortable transition from under 18s level to VFL so far. I feel like yeah, what Ross has really helped me develop as a player and like gain my knowledge in my like specific position to go and play how I want to play. So it's been pretty similar to how they want me to play at North Melbourne, so I'm pretty happy with that.
It's good. Also, you moved to North Melbourne this year from previous clubs. How was the move, and how are you enjoying it so far at the Roos?
Look, it was pretty. It came out of nowhere, really. Look, I had a couple other options, and I was like tossing up, and then this one just popped up, and I was like, it was a offer too good to pass by, and look,
Mm.
I've loved every second of it so far. Not a bad word to say. I was fortunate enough that Coach Brett Goulet was one of my teachers at school, so easy to fit in. And all the girls have been pretty amazing. So it's a bit of a new team this year, so it's not like I was going into just like a one-off player joining a team that's been established for a long time. There's lots of new girls, so I feel like we've been really able to establish who we want to be and what team we want to be from the get-go of the season. So it's been really good.
That's good. Obviously, how was that transition? It's been nice to see. I suppose that there's a lot of new players this year. I don't know the exact number, but there's a lot more than what in your average year would be at the Roos in particular. Do you reckon that's helped you a little bit fit in more because there's a lot more people that are trying to fit in the same position as you compared to previous years where it might be like one or two new players where you've got a bunch now?
Yeah, I think it's been really helpful. Look, we've had to work things out and how the club works and stuff all together, and not just like isolated by yourself and like
Yeah.
trying to work it out yourself. So that's been really helpful. And I think look, the club has been so supportive. Like, there's no question goes unanswered. Like, yeah, look, I've loved every second. We've got pretty good access. Like, we're able to access the club whenever we want. So I'm pretty lucky with that. And look, all the girls I've gotten along like a house on fire. And yeah, I think it's really good.
That's good. How beneficial too is it to have some players that have been or either currently or have just been on an AFLW list like Renee Tani and Alana Barber that come to mind? How beneficial is it to also have girls that have come back from the AFLW to kind of spread their knowledge and they can kind of show the ropes about how far off you actually can be and what you need to get to that next step?
Yeah, look, it's been amazing. Barb's has been awesome. Got along really well with her. I think it's helped just like feeling like you can fit in. Like, look, watching her train, like she's unbelievable. Don't get me wrong, but like you feel like you're not too far away, and you can like give it, like put it to them, like, which has been really good for my confidence. And I think like having her to direct you at training and say, hey, maybe try this or do that or
Mm.
try and work on this has been you can't say anything wrong about it. So it's been pretty fortunate. There's been a couple girls coming. Renee has also come over from Essendon, and there are a couple girls like on the cusp of the North AFL team as well. So we're pretty lucky in the position we are at the moment.
It's really good. What would you say? Obviously, you play off the half back, but what would you say some of your biggest strengths as a footballer?
I look for me. I think I've always just like brushed it aside, but I think my football knowledge is probably the biggest strength. Like,
Yep.
bit of a nuff. Grew up in a sporting mad family, so know
Mm.
ins and outs of most sports, but footy especially. I feel like I've got a greater knowledge than most people on footy and how footy works and the ins and outs, which has helped me a lot and a lot to develop as like a higher advanced player. I think
Yeah.
I'm a bit like I love a good contested ball. I love pretty rough and tumble sometimes. And yeah, look, I like to take the game on and especially with my kicking, so that's been a big improvement of mine over the last few years.
It's good. So obviously you had a practice match on the weekend, yes, you were telling me on Sunday, and had a nice win. So how was it to kind of get those practice matches underway with the season not too far away and get a win most importantly, but also build that connection in those times before the official games start?
Yeah, look, it was pretty good actually. We went way better than I thought we would. We won by 49 points in the end, I think it was. So to start the season off, or not really the season, but season off in such a great high, I think it's given everyone like some really good confidence, which I think we're lacking at times, and actually really showed us like how good we can be and how good we like will be this year. Um, look, for me, I was extremely nervous having not played a VFL game before. Like I've played lots of senior footy and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but actually to get out there and play a VFL game, I think it's helped me a lot in my confidence and like actually showing where I can go this year. So I think we've got a motto at the club at the moment is just focus. We had a metaphor. It's like focus on changing the tire. So focus on one step at a time, not the end goal, the premiership. But I think for us, we could be looking in a good way for this year.
That's good. So obviously you only turned 19 this year. So I'm sure it's still an option. It's something you would love to get into the AFLW at some level, at some point in time, and I'm sure that's still a goal you want to get into.
Yeah, most definitely. Look, for me, I did my ACL a couple of years ago, so I think that's not, I wouldn't say delayed, but I think it's been
Oh, yeah.
harder to actually get back into the swing of things. So I've only played one full year of footy since that. So for me, it's an absolute like dream to actually play the AFL and really think that I'm so close
Mm.
to being there is like really a dream come true. But hopefully, I can get there one day.
That's good. I mean, as I say to plenty of people, you don't have to be 18 or 19 or 20 to be picked up. It doesn't mean if you pass that age, you're done for. Because you see people in the men's or women's and AFL, AFLW get picked up with you like 28, 29 years old. And there's all these other avenues, injury replacements, SSPs, mid-season drafts. There's all these avenues to get in.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think being at the club, I've seen that a fair bit. So there's older girls and there's girls, there's train-ons who aren't like young and stuff like me, like they're older girls. So it's really given me the confidence to go, look, I can really go full set at this and have a full crack. And especially being at North Melbourne, which is obviously affiliate, like VFL affiliated with AFL, has given me the real like boost to go, look, that's my goal and that's what I want to work towards. So it's been good.
That's good. Who did you grow up supporting? Now, you told me an interesting.
I was a massive Carlton supporter growing up, actually. My dad and Pop were both massive Carlton supporters, so I had no choice as a child other than to go for the Blues. And look, it's been a rough journey so far, but the last couple of years it's looking promising, and hopefully this year can look a little bit better. But yeah, I had no choice to be other than to be a Blues supporter.
That's fair enough. I mean, you get tied into one club. What's your thoughts? Well, on the mention about Carlton. So, what's the thoughts on people that try and barrack for different teams? They jump on bandwagons, they jump off, they come back when the team goes good. How do you feel that people that do that? I feel like you can't do that. You either stay on one team, you can't flop and change, even if it's only one other change. You kind of got to stick to the same team forever, really.
Yeah, I'm a pick a team and stick to it no matter what happens. Through like I'm definitely a loyal supporter. I'm not a bar of the bandwagon stuff. There's a lot of people that do it these days, especially my age, or probably not my age, but a bit younger. And they try
Yes.
and pick and choose, and they're winning, so I go for them. But no, can't deal with it. Especially having to stick out Carlton being so bad for so many years. I'm not having it.
Yeah, same as St Kilda. I mean, we've been through a lot forever, really. But you
Definitely.
you can't go. If you jump off, you're not. Well, I mean, you can do what you want, but you're not really welcome back because
No.
you can't be a bandwagon supporter. Now, at North Melbourne VFLW, who is some of you? I know you're new to the team, but is there any particular favourite teammates you got down at the club?
Oh, that's a pretty hard question. I actually don't know. Look, I've got along. Maddie the Cosmos come over from Carlton. I think we've got along really well so far. But look, not really in particular. Jess
Yeah.
Jones, so JJ, she leads the way pretty strong at the club, and I think I've tucked myself under her wing a little bit, which is like giving me lots of confidence, but not really. Look, they're all pretty great, to be honest.
No, that's all right. Have you had a chance to see who a coach's pet would be at the club, or was that something you haven't really seen so far either?
I don't think that's no, I don't think so. They're all pretty much ready. Everyone probably say me. Look, I've known you for a fair while, so I don't know. I actually don't know.
That's all right. Fair enough. I've had that answer a few times now. That's fair enough. Now, yeah, as nicknames, you can get a few variations of nicknames. What are some nicknames you get either at the club or just in general that you like or dislike?
Look, yeah, for me, my full name is actually Yasmin, so Yaz or Yasie is my nickname. I got Welly growing up a fair bit because that was my dad. Like our last name's just Sean, and my dad was Welly, so I've got like Welly heaps. Or last year the girls, I grew up in Bega, so Bega cheese. So I got cheese a little bit, but I didn't want it to stick, so I passed that one off quite quickly. But yeah, not many, to be honest.
And I've nice and basic. Sometimes outside of that, it's sometimes the right way to go about it. What are some goals as you set for yourself this year as a footballer?
Look, I like to keep it pretty simple. I always write them down. I've got a little diary and I always write some down. But look, for me, I just want to play. I want to stay fit and healthy. I've had a few injury-riddled seasons, so to be able to play last year, that was my goal, and I achieved it. So to be able to play every round, doesn't have to be VFL, can be club footy, or just to play every round be great. And look, just to play as many VFL games as I possibly can. I think I've set the bar pretty low and give myself pretty low expectations, but I think it's easier to achieve when I small steps at a time and then grow from there. So yeah, just to play a VFL game, which hopefully I can do, but yeah, not too many.
That's fair enough. Obviously, there's always these type of people at the clubs. Yeah, so I'd love to see who you think might fall under this category if there is some. I'll be shocked if there's not. Who loves the limelight, the attention, the camera, and the North Melbourne VFLW side, and they can't get enough of it, and they know exactly what to do when there's a camera around, whether it's for photos or on film?
Look, There's a couple of girls that are a bit crazy. I would say, Brooke Randell loves a bit of not attention. She's just a bit crazy and a bit out there. There's a funny photo of her from the game on the weekend, flying around in the group chat. Look, I think a lot of the girls are pretty like humble and under their skin a little bit, but
Yeah.
we'll seem to find out as the season starts. But yeah, not too many.
That's good. How are you with photos? In terms of like when the game day photos come out, how are you about that? You just always hope that there's a photo in that photo album or whatever you want to call it that's got you on there.
Most definitely. I love a good photo of me playing sport. I was pretty lucky growing up. We had one of the boys' mums took photos of basically every cricket game I ever played for my local club. Always had a photo of it. So I always loved going through the photo albums, and I still do. Had a pretty funny one on the weekend actually. I got a girl high, and it's just like posted across our group chat, which was funny. Got a bit of stick for that one, but yeah, gotta love a good footy photo, but like the footy photo faces aren't great. They're not it sometimes. So yeah.
That's fair. I mean, like the reason I brought this up is because we discussed this at the goal kicking comp the other day. It's yeah, look, I love a photo too. And if there's any photographers out there that are listening, I'm happy to volunteer your services to some degree. Send me a message. I would love to have someone because I'm having to get teammates to film me batting if he's not batting at the same time with me, and sometimes they do. So I would love to get more people to do it. And like it's the same. I love having games filmed or having it photographed because it's a nice little look. It's a nice memory though, yes, as well.
It definitely is. Definitely is. Look, I am a massive avid, and look, all our games get filmed now, so I reckon I'd watch them to at least 2 or 3 times every week. I'd love it, and I got into massively last year watching Vision and replaying things, writing notes. I got massively into it, and then thousands of photos. My camera roll is always full of photos. Never have enough storage. So, yeah, I love it. Pretty lucky.
Very true. And you and me both with the phone storage. I think a lot of people I've told this story to now, publicly and privately. Yeah, I end up having to get a new phone probably more often than I want to because of that alone.
Yeah, I just I smashed mine, but I was out of storage the other day, and it's like, now what am I deleting? I went to a Taylor Swift concert, and it's coming up, your storage is full in the middle of the concert, and I was like, oh no. I think my phone, I always end up with no apps on my phone. It's just photos, always.
I've had to do that thing. I don't know if it was at the footy or something, and I was like, yeah, I need more storage or something like that. Anyway, something that I needed it for. It's happening mid-game, and I'm scrolling through, shit, when am I deleting that? Goodbye, this app just so I can get the next 5 minutes worth of footage or something.
Yeah, definitely.
That's right. Now, obviously, in your footy time, yes, through North Melbourne, through Calder, through any form of local footy as well, have you ever had any individual success in form of awards or premierships?
Look, I don't ever advocate for my individual awards, but not last year or the year before. Hang on. Not last year, but the year before. So 2022, my local team, Strathmore, we won. I played in both games actually. We won under 18s, and then I played seniors on the same day, and we won both flags. So I think that's been my highlight of my footy career so far. Pretty unbelievable day, to be honest. I was pitching myself with every moment. From it started at 9:30 or something, our first game was, and I got in the car and raced the second one, played on Windy Hill, won a flag with all my best mates, and yeah, it was pretty cool, to be honest.
That's awesome. And you know what? You're the third person that's mentioned this in about 3 weeks. I don't think I've ever heard of these type of stories where people win consecutive premierships in the same day. I had someone a few weeks ago say, and I thought, well, you mentioned somebody else said the exact same thing only last week. About 3 weeks ago, someone said they won. This is not right this year or anything, but like 4 or 5 years ago, they won 3 premierships in 3 days in 3 different sports.
Yeah, look, I've had a couple like that. Like netball premierships and cricket premierships and footy really close together. But yeah, two in one day, can't beat that, I don't reckon. Only other thing is like cricket. Growing up, we won like 3 or I think the team ended up winning 5 in a row. I didn't play in all the games, but as a team, we won 5 years in a row. So that was pretty hectic. But yeah, the footy one, I don't think I'll ever beat it, to be honest.
That's pretty impressive to be involved in so many premierships in all those sports that you mentioned, and then winning an under-18s premiership in footy, and then not really having any time really to think about it. You mentioned go straight in the car to the next one.
No, I didn't.
How'd you go through all that day, and particularly, especially in the middle part?
It was pretty hectic, to be honest. Look, I've played, growing up, I've played most sports. It's like I used to play netball in the morning and then footy in the afternoon, or vice versa. I love playing 2 games of footy. I used to do it every weekend, juniors and then seniors. But I was just something you did in the country, and to come down to the city and be able to do it, I was pretty grateful, to be honest.
Yeah.
No, but I remember, like, it's clearly in my head. We sung the song, went a bit crazy, got some photos, and then I was straight in the car out of there. I got to Windy Hill, and it was like we're warming up. Changed my jersey, changed my shorts, warmed up. I sat on the bench for the first quarter, just under the first quarter, just to gather my thoughts and actually recoup a little bit. And then played the rest of the game. And then
That's
to
good.
win was unbelievable.
Did you ever
Winning
even have a part of that presentation awards where they hand out the medals and stuff after the first game?
Yeah. So I definitely waited for that. Got my medal. We went in, sung the song, and then had to duck out of there pretty quick. But it was a pretty tight club. So most of the girls, pretty much all of them, actually just followed suit and went and supported the seniors. So
Nice.
I'm pretty lucky. Yeah.
That's good. Is leadership something, that's ever been a part of your football journey or sporting journey? If not, is it something that you ever look to go into, or is it something you more do without the official title, and you can be something like, guide some advice if someone was to ask it without having the titles? You don't need the title to be a leader.
Yeah, most definitely. I've grown up. I've captained most sports, actually. Captain lots of cricket teams, been captain of footy teams and stuff before. But look, I think I wouldn't say I'm a natural leader. I've worked really hard at it and done all sorts of leadership conferences and stuff like that before. But look, it's something I strive to be and something I want to be, especially for the younger girls coming through. Look, I'm currently working as like an assistant at school, and like just seeing how much the younger kids look up to you is like really made me motivated to keep being a role model and keep being there for people to ask questions, and especially kids like younger, just younger girls. Definitely something I want to help them. I definitely want to help them. So yeah.
It's really good to hear, because they look up to you whether you're doing coaching, and I have done some junior level coaching in the past or helping out in some degree. And even now when I'm playing my own cricket and, you got the players' sons or whatever around, they're going, Scoops or Coop, going to hit a 6 for me today. It's just love to see that they get around you as well. And
definitely,
I'm sure some if you ran into them.
Yeah, look, I've got my little cheer squad at school at the moment, doing my year 7s. I went to camp with them, and they soon found out that I played footy, and they soon found out they wanted to know exactly where I played, what time, what date. Massive fan supporters. I ran into one of them actually after my game on Saturday. I was just out with my best mate, we were getting acai for dessert, and walked up to me, how'd you got footy today? And look, I've loved it so much. And then I've coached a lot. I coached lots of cricket when I was a bit younger. So just seeing what I could do with the girl. I coached an all girls team. So seeing what I can do with the girls and how far they went and how far they're still going with their cricket is something that I just loved every second of it, and something I definitely want to do more of in the future. So
that's good. Any outside of footy interest you had? Obviously, you've just mentioned there's some coaching in all sports is something that you've enjoyed doing.
Yeah, look, I love all sports, obviously, but just to get away from sport a little bit, I love the beach. I'm a beach nuffy. We grew up not far from the beach, so anything to do with the ocean, waves, sand, love it. And just time to get away and relax a little bit. Always made it even more enjoyable. But yeah, look, my life's pretty much revolved around sport at the moment. So, yeah, any sport, love. So, and obviously helping kids and stuff like that is also something that I'm pretty passionate about. So, yeah, not much else.
It's really good. Any favorite TV shows or movies you have?
Look, I'm not a massive. There's a joke going around actually in my friends group that if you put a movie on, Yaz will always fall asleep, and it's quite true. Look, I watched Anyone But You the other day at the movies.
Okay, yep.
I loved it. Also being a teenage girl, I had no choice but to love it. And then I binge Grey's Anatomy a lot, but it's like just something that's always on in the background, and you can just like come in and watch a little bit, and then go again and still keep up with it. So, but I'm not a massive TV watcher. I don't think I have enough time to sit down and watch movies and TV much. So, hasn't really gone to my repertoire.
That's fair enough. If of all the people that you've obviously been involved at the club levels that have seen people get picked, especially at the Calder Cannons, for example, who's some draftees you're excited to see how they go this year, or someone that you've played footy at any level before that's on an AFLW list now that you're keen to see how they go?
Look, I've got a couple. So I grew up with a girl called Tiny Evans,
Oh, yeah,
playing for the Giants now. Yeah, plays for the
Yep.
Giants. Look, we were like really, well, our families and stuff were really close growing up. So, always loved to see her succeed and see her go far in the season, and hopefully stay fit and healthy. Will be great for her this year. She had an unbelievable year, her best year to date last year. So to hopefully see her go bigger and better this year will be pretty exciting to watch. And then draftees wise, super excited to see how Kaylee Kavanagh goes. She got drafted to West Coast. Picked 13 by memory.
Oh, mate.
Absolutely loved playing with her last year. She was, everyone wanted her to be like the person that you want to be a teammate. Would do anything for you. Would like just hard on her sleeve, team player. So,
Yeah.
hopefully to see her succeed over in the West will be fantastic. And yeah.
That's good. Is there any particular game, Yaz, that you feel like is a key standout game for you in your entire football career that's got you into the position where you're getting so close now, going up a level from Coach League now to VFLW, and then hopefully again another step to AFLW?
Look, I think it's after I came back from my ACL in what was 22. I came back from my ACL. I think from there I've just grown and grown and grown and grown, and I came back a miles better player than I was at the start. But the
Yeah.
last few games of coach season last year, so we played against maybe the Falcons, and
Yeah.
then our final game against Oakley, I think we lost and we got smashed, and I was so sad. But I think for me, everything kind of clicked in the first half of that game. I remember it so clearly in my head, and I think for me, that's given me so much confidence to go into this year and to finish that year going, look, I've improved. This is where I started and this is where I've ended. I only can see how I can get better from now. So, look, yeah, definitely last game last season has really given me a good stead to go, to keep going and see where I can end up.
It's really good. Now you mentioned there the ACL a few times there, so we'll talk about it and how obviously clearly it's devastating to do any form of injury, particularly a long term one like an ACL. But while you were going through that process and kind of in the day of it happening, was there ever any doubts that you thought, nah, this is not for me? Or considering I'm going to assume since your history of playing all those sports, you always wanted to come back. How were you throughout that 9 to 12 month range?
Yeah, look, I will never forget the moment I did it. I was playing out of everything I was doing. I was playing social game of mixed netball with my mates from school on a Tuesday afternoon. And I remember I was exhausted, I was tired, I had schoolwork to do, and I was like, oh, Dad, I don't really want to go, I don't really want to go. And he's like, just go.
Mm,
Like, you don't play, like, I was at the stage where I needed something just fun to go play, like, sport-wise, because everything was always stressful and
yeah.
worrying about getting picked in teams and stuff. So I was playing golf shooter, first quarter landed, it went like that. And I
Mm,
knew straight away, like absolutely straight away, it's how everyone describes it. I
yeah.
knew knew I was absolutely distraught. I called my dad and my sister, and they recall telling me like it didn't sound like you on the phone because I was just taken aback, and all I could think of was, oh my god, I can't play sport. My life is going to end. I can't play sport. That's all I knew, and that's all I still do know really. But um, yeah, look, I never in my mind was I never going to come back. But it was just how well I was going to come back. But I think for me, I got quite addicted to my rehab,
Yeah.
and like we got addicted to. We had an exercise bike shoved between our couches in the lounge room, and
Yeah.
that's all I did all day, every day was fixing my knee. And then for me to come back as strong as I did, really gave me the confidence to go, look, I'm good to go. And yeah, so it was a long journey. I played a game of cricket at 10.5 months, was my first game of cricket.
Nice.
And then from there, I played footy at about 11.5. So basically the 12-month mark. So it was long, but
Yeah.
I was very lucky and very fortunate to be supported by so many people and so many different physios and stuff at the footy club. So look, it was hard, and I wouldn't ever say to or curse anyone to do the ACL. Look, after doing mine, it was horrific. But
Yeah.
yeah, to come back better, bigger and stronger has really given me the confidence that sport is still where I want to be, and it will be that way for a long time.
That's really good. And I mean, obviously, as I said, you don't want anyone to get injured at the long term, but it's good to see something positive come out of it, I guess, to keep at it and have more determination, I suppose, to more prove that you don't want to give up and you want to keep going with all the sports or a sport that you're doing. Now, obviously, I know you're playing the back line, but what is the best goal, Yas, you've ever kicked at any level, at any point in time? Any come to mind?
No, the first one that came to my head was it wasn't very good, but I kicked a goal in one of those grand finals, in the senior grand final, off my left foot, like a dribbler along the ground kind of thing. I think that was the most memorable because it was such a significant moment. But look, I've kicked a few, like I said, a few, but I don't think anything's better than that one. So, or as exciting as that one. So that's probably my favourite.
And it's funny too that you mentioned a left foot dribbler. So you should have pulled that out on Sunday.
No, it was an absolute fluke, to be honest. It was like a big contest, and I just hacked it forward on my left foot, and it's like bounced and bounced and bounced and bounced through. So, yeah, nah, my left foot kicking is coming, but it's still getting there.
Work in progress, fair enough. Now, what would you like your best ever goal to be? It can be as unrealistic as you want it, Yas. How would you like to describe at the moment, the situation, the angle, the distance? How would you put it?
Look, for me, the best goal, I don't care about check sides, snaps, whatever. A goal after siren to win a game or win a grand final is probably like, I reckon it'll be up there. Like something crazy like 50 out, wrong side after siren to win the grand final, I reckon.
So something like Houston goals during the year last year was like 53 in the wet on an angle against the Bombers
Yeah,
for Port, like that, or the
yeah.
Dom grand final even.
Nah, probably the Port one, I think. I
Dan
remember that
Houston.
one last year. Yeah, Dan Houston. But yeah, maybe more significant game, but pretty similar
Yeah,
to that. Yeah.
that's good. I mean, I don't know why, and it still annoys me every time I bring this up, but I don't know how the hell that did not win goal of the year. Because if you add all those things you talk about, the moment and everything, waterlogged ball too, after the siren, in the wet,
Yeah,
out. Now, he is a bloody good kick. He's probably the best kick in the comp from a distance and accuracy-wise. But that's
definitely.
a way in that pressure in the wet, and the guy on the mark's probably 52, 53 out.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I can't even remember what goal of the year last year, but I think there were some contenders that could have been higher up there. So yeah, definitely something cool like that.
I can't even remember who it was myself, because obviously it wasn't that good, because otherwise I'd remember it.
Yeah, I
But
would remember it too, exactly.
very debatable, that mark goal of the year every time. How they do it, they have a fan thing every round by round, and then the AFL, whoever picked their final three off those first rounds. But anyway, it's really weird and confusing. That's one of many things they do wrong in the AFL. Now, anyway, who Yeah, who would you say the best player in the AFLW competition is, Jazz? Obviously, there's so many names you put in this contender. Fellow North Melbourne AFLW players, your Jazz Garner and Ash Riddell could be in that. Marinoff, Laura Gardner, Ali Morfitt, Zali Goldsworthy, Ella Roberts. There's the Sparker sisters. There's so many names you could put in that spot. It's more even than say what the men's would be. There's a few obvious ones there, but the women's one's so tight. Who would you put in that spot? You can't really go wrong anyway.
Look, obviously Jazz Gardner is a freak. She was one that came first to mind, but I always love, and I still do, Chloe Malloy. I think she's the most. I reckon she's pretty highly rated, but I think what she did last year, go up to Sydney, captain the team, get them to where she got them is pretty unbelievable off their own back. And look, she might not get 30 touches every week, but to have 20 touches and kick 2 or 3 goals, I think she stands up for the big moments for me, as her footy IQ and her skills are unbelievable for a girl. So I think she's probably my favourite player to watch, but I look, I haven't really thought about it too much. I selfishly should say I'm more focused on Carlton's backline. But Jazz Gardner is also, like, you can't not mention her. Like, the stuff what she's done already is unbelievable. Her contested work and just her ability to go forward and kick goals as well is something that not many can do. So yeah.
Good. Have you ever had the opportunity to have any of the North Melbourne women AFLW girls come down to any trainings or come down to the game recently on the weekend and watch? And if so, have they given any advice, or do they more just stay on the sidelines?
Yeah, look, we haven't really had the opportunity to mingle with them much yet. You see a few of them in and around the club and always say hello and stuff, but not as yet. So hopefully it's to come.
That's fair enough. Now, some of these questions start getting interesting. Teammates' hearts get broken. Teammates love you more and more. This is where the questions can get divided between some. Now, best chatterbox at the club. Have you come to know some people that are the best chatterboxes while you've just started to join the club?
Ooh, Brooke Rendell.
Brooke Rendell, nice.
Yeah, Talia's little sister.
Yeah. Now, if you were stuck on a deserted island with teammates, yes, who would you want to bring and not want to bring, and why?
I don't want to bring Mackie Sutcliffe because she'll eat all the food. She loves the snack.
Yeah.
Ooh. I reckon I'm bringing. I'm trying to think. Maybe captain from last year, Jess Jones.
Yeah, nice choice. Okay. Who is the loudest and quietest teammate?
Brooke and Mackie are probably the loudest.
Yep.
Quietest is a fair few. That could be the quietest. Oh, we're not a pretty outgoing bunch yet. Maybe Annie is quietest.
Okay, fair enough. Oh, some of your most prized possessions, Jazz. What are some most prized possessions of yours?
At the moment, this is a weird one. I don't go anywhere without my drink bottle. That's pretty prized to me. Very random, but take it everywhere. And I don't know. I get attached to my footy boots a bit, so them and just some photos. Probably I'm not too attached to much.
That's fair enough. Our defenders, I feel like, yes, they deserve a bit more love when you play defence, so you wouldn't know this. They don't get as much appreciation as the other positions do, in particular at AFL and AFLW level from a public point of view. Obviously, the men's and the women's as well, because obviously got the Brownlow centre towards mids and rucks, no matter what people say, and then it's got the Coleman. So do defenders need their own official title as well at that level, especially?
Absolutely.
No
questions. No further questions.
Absolutely. I mean, people, I've actually, believe it or not, I've had a few players who have been defenders that say they don't really need it. And I'm thinking, okay, yeah, well.
But there's not much recognition. The backs do most of the hard yards for the team. So I don't think we get enough recognition.
No, absolutely not. I mean, Like they were more, I think they were more indicating like, yeah, internally. But I said, yeah, but that'd probably be everywhere. But like, from a public point of view, at AFLW, you always hear about the players. You ring up 10 players, like for example, name all those players I just listed off the AFLW ones. All of them were mids, or rucks, or forwards.
Or forwards, absolutely. Look, I don't know. I watched Jacob Wittering last year, and I think he ended up almost winning Carlton's best and fairest, and I was pretty he's my favorite player, hands down. Love Witters. But yeah, he didn't get enough recognition in Carlton's run to the final, so I think I vouch for that.
That's very true. Now, some teammates, you feel they kind of fly under the radar a little bit. They don't get talked about as much as they should, if not current teammates, any former teammates or anyone just in general in the competition at any level. You feel it doesn't get talked about as much as they should.
It's a hard one. I should have thought about random questions like this before I came on. Oh, I don't know. Underrated players.
Ones?
Beg your pardon, sorry?
Any AFLW players that you feel don't get talked about as much?
I think Jacob Wittering should have a higher praise than what he does, but that's a very biased opinion.
Fair enough.
Look, I don't really know. I think no, not really.
Fair enough. What are some fun facts about you, yes, that people may not know about you?
Ooh. I think growing up in the country is probably my main weird fact, but I lived on a dairy farm growing up, and I lived in the town of Cheese, so I lived in Bega, so that's my quirky facts. Cheese fanatics in our house.
I love that.
Nothing but bigger cheese, and if I see anyone in the shop not buying bigger cheese, I always say something.
Well, I'm going to make you shocked. Not for me. I got a friend of mine, and the reason I bring this up is because he went to a restaurant or a cafe or something, and he was getting a chicken palmy. I think that's what it was. Let's just say that for argument's sake, he got a palmy, and he told the waitress. He said to her, "I want a palmy with no cheese." Now, what's funny is, generally you'll say what you say, and the waiter or whatever don't really say anything. But this waitress spoke back to him and said, really? Is she like, well, she never go on him. She's like critiquing his decision, going, why would you not have cheese? What is wrong with you? And when he told me this, he's like, I said, told you, mate. I told you that. Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't got them all.
Definitely. Cheese goes on absolutely everything in our house, and always has. My sister, we eat it, but we slice it up and just eat slices of cheese. It's beyond, and glasses of milk. Obviously, we lived on a dairy farm, so just milk, just straight glasses of milk. We used to have them as kids, straight glass of milk with a scoop of Milo.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good answer. I mean, now I'm just going to get to the controversial food topic question. So I'm going to make that one out of one. No one's ever gotten all the same as me, so I want to see if you can be the first. So that's 1 for 1. So that's good. Right, now going to these food questions. These are the controversial food questions, Yaz, where people, the Australian population gets divided and cracks the sads if no one.
Yes.
Yep, same opinion here. I think you know where some of these answers may be going. Chicken palmy. Is it a palmy or is it something else?
I say palmy.
Thank Christ you said. For some reason I was thinking you were going to go the opposite way there. I mean, it's a pretty obvious answer, yes, isn't it? It's spelled Parmi, Parmigiana. It's in the name.
Yeah, it is, yes. I'm palmy. Sometimes I shorten it lazy and say Palmer, but I think that's because at work it's written as Palmer in our system. But other than that,
gotcha, yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I just don't understand anyone that thinks it's got an AEYIO or O. It's just, I don't get it. Right, we're 2 for 2, so that's good. Good start. Right, next one. Tomato sauce, cupboard or fridge?
Cupboard.
3 for 3. Boom, good. Here we go. I think there's going to be 2 or 3 more here, so let's see how you go. This one is probably, I think this is, of those ones I've just mentioned, this is probably the most controversial divide.
Yeah, pizza.
Yep. And I did not give you the questions beforehand. Pineapple on a pizza, yes or no?
Look, I knew you were going to ask this question. I always was a massive no.
Mm-hmm.
But recently I've been having it. I work at a pizza shop, and they've been Jazz, try pineapple on the pizza, and I'm actually liking it. So I'm coming to the dark side.
You are kind of the dark side of that. Well, do I give you half a point? Do I give you? You started saying no, and then you went pushed to yes. I'm gonna question mark that. All right, we'll go to the next one. Favorite food?
Oh, chocolate.
I'll accept that. That's 4 question mark out of 5. Right, and this one is the last food type question. Actually, no, there's 2 more. Food you don't like?
Ooh. I don't know. I hate anything spicy.
Oh no.
Not a spicy girl. I'm
No.
a very Aussie country girl. Steak and 3 veg.
All right. Okay. All right. The question mark's no longer there, but that's okay. We've got most of it, so that's good. Yes, we got the majority of it, so that's all right. You equal first with everyone else. Which one? Short. Best dish to cook.
Ooh. We cook a fair bit, me and my sister in our house, but our go-to is probably we love making spaghetti bolognese. But look, I cook at work. I'm like this. Sometimes I'm chef at work, so I love cooking. I love to cook a good steak.
Yeah.
Roast dinner on a Sunday is quite popular in our house. Or look, I'm a pasta girl, so I have probably spaghetti bolognese is my favorite.
Good answer. Let's add that back to the list. 5 out of 6. I think we're up to 6, so that's enough. Good enough. Actually, we can also add this one as well. Favorite takeaway place.
Oh, I might look. I find it hard because I work at a pizza pasta restaurant, so I find it hard to get takeaway anywhere but work. But I love Mexican, so like I wouldn't like I think GYG Guzman Gomez is a bit overrated, but like some Mexican somewhere.
So we're 6 out of 7. I mean, look, I'll still take it. Now that's good. We had to convert you to the spicy food, and we had a record broken, but that's okay. Where are we? Have you ever had any AFL or AFLW player interactions as a fan, as a fan, and were they any forgettable or memorable moments?
Oh, I've had a few. They're all memorable.
That's good.
Look, I've had a lot of, I think more cricketers than AFL players, but I remember we had some Giants players. I actually can't remember off my head who it was, but I remember so clearly I met Kevin Sheedy when I was younger.
Nice.
And I was a little blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl. I was about, I want to say I was 7 or 8, and
Okay.
not many people knew who he was, but I was just obsessed. Like Kevin Sheedy, like how do you not know who Kevin Sheedy is? AFL
Yeah.
legend, and I remember he signed. I've got it framed at my nan's house actually. He signed a piece of paper addressed to me, and that's my most like valued thing. Other than
So,
that, like, look, I've met some of the AFL boys in the footy club the other day, and I was a bit like starstruck. I was like, what is going on? Yeah, I had a conversation with Zach Fisher, and I was like, hang on, was that really him? So a bit starstruck. I've met cricket wise. We went to the test in Canberra one year, and I met all the players. Have a whole signed hat. We met Glenn McGrath and Marnus before he was Marnus. At breakfast, and yeah, literally
yeah.
all that cricketers. Been pretty
Mm,
lucky. Fortunately with cricket, I've had a few opportunities to work at some games and stuff like that. So I've met pretty much all the cricketers. At least Perry being at the top of my list.
yeah,
So yeah, pretty lucky.
that's good, and that's a really good list there you mentioned, and obviously Glenn McGrath, a great Australian cricket bowler. I had the opportunity to meet him probably 3 years ago as well, so it's great. It was great to see someone like that you mentioned. And from the AFL side of things, Zach Fisher, that's a nice one to bring up, considering he's a former Blue.
He's a former Blue at North. So I met him at the door at the club actually the other day, and I was like straight away, I'm like, Dad, I just met Zach Fisher. But it's like a normal occurrence now to run into some of the AFL players. Meet them in the gym a fair bit. Lap over in the gym a little bit. So that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. But look, I think I might dive and meet Patrick Cripps, to be honest. He's my favourite, hand down. And then met a fair few of the Carlton players, just like trainings and stuff. So yeah, I've been pretty lucky. But yeah, meeting Glenn McGrath was that was probably at the top of my list. We were 3 little girls, it was me, my sister, and one of our friends, and he was in a
Mm,
big, massive crowd at the cricket, and we ran up going, Glenn McGrath, can I have your autograph? And the girls
mm,
had no idea who. I remember it so clearly. They go, "Who's this? Like, who is this?" I said, "Just let him sign his hat, and we'll work it out later. Like, you want his signature, get a
yeah,
photo, and then we'll work it out later." And they
yeah,
worked out who he was, and they were pretty like gobsmacked. But yeah, that was pretty memorable, and that day at the cricket was pretty memorable, to be honest.
that's good. Nice to see Glenn McGrath and Zach Fisher, and then you mentioned Marnus before. Being Marnus, are you referring to them more before he was this well-known cricketer making runs for fun?
Yeah, I think it was almost his debut actually. Played
Oh,
against
yeah,
close to, if not like maybe second or third test. But yeah, he
yeah,
was at Monica just having brekkie, and he walked past and with all these little kids dressed up ready for the cricket, and he signed our hats and got a photo, and yeah, and then that was before he was the big old famous Marnus he is now. But yeah, I was pretty lucky. So
that's good. With Paddy Cripps, with your reaction there, obviously, if time's permitted, you might need to venture down Icon Park to one of their training sessions again and go near their entrance gate wherever they leave and enter from and stand there and, yeah, wait and hope that he stops.
yeah, look, I think I need to. He's obviously Colin's hero, so
Yeah,
any Paddy Cripps thing would be great. But yeah, just to look, I'm pretty like it's almost becoming reality now. Meeting all these famous people all the time. Like walked around the club the other day, said hello to Clarko, little things like that. It's like going, oh my god, like who am I? Like where am I? Like this is pretty cool. So yeah, anything like that would be pretty special.
that's really good. And, yeah, it's good to meet those type of people. And, like you said, you just now meeting them every time you're there, every time you're there
Yeah, it's
now.
really
And
awesome.
it's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Now, what are some quirks, yes, that some people would say that you have that you wouldn't necessarily like to admit?
My sister would say I'm the most annoying person in the world. Um, look, ooh, I don't know.
Hmm. So,
Look, I don't
other
want to admit to many of it. I've got some weird quirks. I like to do weird things.
fair
Um,
enough.
my dad, I think my dad would probably say my weird quirk is that I don't unstack the dishwasher or something stupid like that. But
Okay.
um, yeah, I've got some weird ones, but I don't really know if they're like that weird. I think they're just weird in our house.
That's fair enough. An insider thing, that's fair enough. I mean, it's not that bad. And in terms of annoying, uh, did you say someone calls you that, or you say that?
Oh, my little sister would 100% think I'm annoying.
Oh, come on, that's not. I celebrity crush.
Oh, oh, I don't know.
Would it be a name you've just mentioned from a certain cult, a certain number
Probably.
9?
Yeah, probably. Probably. Yeah.
That's
That's what I was thinking. I was like, went to movies and I was like, nah, not really. But
yeah,
yeah, probably Cripper or yeah, Cripper.
that's fair enough. That's a popular answer for a lot of ladies.
I'm sure it
Now,
will be.
yeah, I'd love to know how many times he's heard that before as well in front of people. Say to him too. Now, favorite music.
Oh, I'm being pretty lucky with my music lately. I went to Fred again on Monday.
Yeah,
That was pretty sick, but I'm a massive Taylor Swift fan. Went to Taylor Swift as well the other day. Love Taylor Swift.
it's good. And we might have discussed this off camera on Sunday, but I'm going to repeat it here on camera now. Taylor Swift. If you ever, obviously, you said you like Taylor Swift. So, for people that don't like Taylor Swift, what I do is look, I'm no Taylor Swift fanatic or anything like that. I don't dislike her. I don't like I'm kind of in between. Probably more favouring to like her now, based off this next thing I'm about to say, that a lot of people that don't like her, what I do to piss them off. And if you ever want to annoy someone it doesn't, and they don't like Taylor Swift and they're pissing you off, just say to them, look, just shake it off. And because they know exactly what
Uh-huh.
everyone that means.
They know
That's
what
one
that means, exactly.
So, hey, Taylor Swift, they clearly know what that means. And if they're pissing you off and you want to piss them off, just bring something that they don't like, something like that. Or another Taylor Swift reference, you're going to tell them, oh, gee, all you got to do is hate, 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 hate.
You do know your Taylor Swift. Yeah, look, anyone who doesn't like Taylor Swift in our household, even my dad likes Taylor Swift in our house. We grew up with our little pink CD player and we used to play Taylor Swift CDs every night, every day on repeat. I've been to 2 of her concerts now, so yeah, anyone who doesn't like Taylor Swift is out of my inner circle, I think.
That's now, like I said, I didn't dislike her. I'm more liking her now, partly for this thing alone. You know, people don't like it. If they don't like her, I just bring that gag up. And to be honest, I start putting that song on to those people, and it just even annoy them more. Not just say it, but now play it.
Yeah, that's a good way to get rid of them.
Absolutely, and I'll get them to shut up. That's for sure. Game day superstitions.
I always have eggs on toast with avocado. I get to the game super early. I get like paranoid that I'm gonna be late. I think
Yeah.
it's a thing from traveling. Like we always have to leave early just in case there's a crash or something.
Yeah.
And I always go out in the middle of the ground and kick I always walk into the middle of the ground, look around before everyone. It's my little superstition, but yeah, not too much else other than that.
Good. I've got a few more for you. Yes, I do really appreciate you coming back on. Technically, obviously, I know this answer, but I want to hear it from you, not from me. How do you fancy yourself in front of the big sticks? Are you someone that's confident from a set shot from a certain on the run? How are you in confidence level?
No, I'm not too confident to be honest. I need a lot more practice, but it's getting there. Look, we used to have this competition. We used to have to kick set shot from the boundary before we left. Like me and a few
Love it.
others. Yeah, so set shot from the boundary, but look, yeah, I'm not like I would back myself in, but not super tight angle or not super far out. So pretty basic.
It's good. I'm going to add a bonus question. I'm going to mention this. Now, you got presented your jumper number most recently. How was it being presented to jumper and the ruse? And also, was there any meaning behind the jumper number that you received, or was it something you were just given? How was that process with the number selection?
Nah, look, being given my jumper was pretty surreal to be honest. Bit of a pinch me moment, and I had all my family there and stuff as well, so it was pretty special. No, like not really behind the number. I was 23 last year. 23
Yeah.
was taken, so backwards is 32. But look, I
Yeah.
don't really care. I just said, give me a jumper. I don't care. It doesn't matter what number's on your back as long as you play well. So yeah, I had to choose out of a couple, and 32 is kind of like backwards to what I had last year. So, yeah.
The closest you could possibly get the same number, that is. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
And the last one, so appreciate coming on, Yaz. Your dream scenario for you this year from a football point of view. If you can map out a perfect season for you from now all the way to the end of December, what is that ideal dream scenario for you?
Look, I hate doing this, but look, I'd hopefully play every VFL game. Don't think that'll happen, but hopefully, not get injured, play unbelievable, get drafted. I honestly wouldn't care what club I got drafted to. I would go anywhere.
That's good.
And then play the next AFL season. So not obviously we won't quite be able to play this one, but the one after that.
That's very good. Yaz, it's been a delight having you on again. All the best for the rest of this season. Hopefully it goes well for you. And by the way, too, one quick thing I'll add. If you kick a goal, Yaz, there's got to be a celebration, and there's got to be something you can have in the back of your pocket. Would you pull a goal celebration if you did get one?
Probably not, but being the other day I went with the double cobra, so that might have to be it.
That's a good one, Yaz. That's even sometimes that's a basic one, a common one, but it's also a good one. That's why it's a basic one and a common one. Yaz, appreciate you coming on. All the best.
Thank you so much, Cooper. It was good to be on.
Nice, appreciate